What up, guys? So, I want to make a video real quick about what I don't like about the Nexus 6P. So, essentially, why I kind of hate this phone, mostly because I can't enjoy using it. It is a great phone, don't get me wrong. It definitely has one of the best cameras, has really good battery life, has a good screen if you don't get a defective one, so watch out for that. If you order one and your screen seems a little bit like pinkish or yellowish, or you see, like, one time I was looking at the screen and I seen like little yellow splotches going up on the screen, and that made me think something was wrong with me. I actually got scared, got freaked out a little bit, but then my friend Tony, he mentioned there was some yellowishness to his screen as well, so that made me feel better. So definitely watch out for the screen. Watch out for this little thing over here, the little back piece. Mine is actually not fully, it's not level with the back. So when I come up here, I'll put a picture up so it'll be a little easier to see, but I think you can kind of tell. You see how, like, right here it raises, so it's not flush with the back. Watch out for little scratches, and pretty much the reason why I don't like this phone is it's all hardware based. It's not the software. There's nothing wrong with the software. There's, like, a lot of the phones today, there's really not much wrong with them. So when we talk about, but I think the phones that have the least wrong with them probably would be like the Nexus 6P and the Moto X, in my opinion. The Note 5 as well, but its software is so bad. I just don't trust that it'll last long. Samsung phones tend to die out software-wise. They get slower. Their battery life gets worse after a couple of months. So I still don't trust them. So I would like to see them get better. But if you talk about Nexus 6P and Moto X, these phones are like really, really good phones this year with very little bad things to say about them. It's all going to come down to preference. So, when my preference is, I don't care about the fingerprint scanner. And in this position, like here, it's good when you're bringing it out of your pocket, but if it's laying down on a desk, it's more annoying than anything in the world, because there's no active display. You can't wave over it, and ambient display is not the easiest to activate. You end up having to put in your pen anyway, and this phone, trying to pick it up from a flat surface, is not easy, because there's no curve to it. It's like kind of flat, and it's just hard to pick up. And there's just little things like that that I noticed that kind of hinders my experience with the 6P. Things that I don't really like. It doesn't. This doesn't make my life any easier. It just adds more things for me to do. Adds more things for me to remember. Yeah, I could get used to it, but I'm not a fan of having a bad way of doing something and going backwards. Yes, this is a beautiful. I guess it's a beautiful phone. Depending, I think it's kind of boring in my opinion. I think the white probably is my favorite, but still, put a D burn on it though, it will look very good. So with this phone, if you get this phone, you either have to baby it or put a case on it. A case is like practically mandatory for this phone. This phone is gonna get banged up. If you get the black model especially, little scratches are gonna be very noticeable. This actually came with a scratch on it already. So, and if it's anything similar to their watches, Huawei's watches, those things, they don't handle wear and tear very well at all. And I don't see this phone as being the same. There are reports. People are saying that their glass is spontaneously just breaking, with no drops or anything like that. And that's the thing. That's another thing that can break on this one if you drop it, is the glass on the back. It's a very, very fragile phone. And someone's already done a bend test. I'm not gonna say whether I think it's true or not, but it looked pretty legit, and he bent this phone pretty easily. And I wouldn't be surprised, just because I'm not sold that this is as premium as it looks. And that's the other thing I want to talk about. I don't really care too much about premium. I care about feeling the hand. I care about, a phone that you can enjoy using. And I don't enjoy using this phone. It's very tall. It's a 5.7-inch display. Maybe like a year or 2 years ago, a 5.7-inch phone this size wouldn't be bad at all. But it's now 2015, and there are phones with this screen size that are better built and better. They're better designed. They feel better in hand. Pretty much, really, there's only one. I think if Motorola did not do a 5.7-inch phone this year with such slim bezels and such a good feel in the hand, then this would have been okay for me. You know, from the Nexus 6 from last year, that was huge. That was a 6-inch screen. This is a 5.7-inch screen, but this is actually taller. Why is this device so tall? You can't blame the dual front-facing speakers because the Nexus 6 had that. This one is so tall, and the edges, these chamfered edges, the iPhone did them. They got rid of them. You know, they moved on. Everybody moved on from chamfered edges, and yet they decided to bring it back. Why? I don't see a good reason. It ends up being very sharp. You know, when you're playing games for a while, you know, I've just found myself moving around just to get more comfortable while I'm holding the phone. So, I'm not a fan of the edges either. The metal body. Why on earth does anybody want to put metal on the phone? And not only did they put metal on the phone, they put a glass up top. So you got metal and glass. Two things that I feel do not belong on the back of a phone. Because people break their phones all the time. Why are you going to give them one more thing to break? Now you can break something in the front and the back. I think this is a poor design choice, forcing people to have to get cases. And not everyone wants to get a case, but if you get a phone like this, you definitely have to. I mean, every day I'm using this thing without a case, I'm scared that I'm just going to drop it and something's going to happen. So, get this phone, get Nexus Protect, and definitely get a case. And other than that, the thinness of it. Why do they have to go for thinness? I believe the phone's also taller because they wanted to make it thinner. You know, making it thinner is why they have this little hump, which doesn't bother me much. But that's why it has that hump. It's because they try to make this as thin as possible. So they had to move a lot of the components up here. And also, the thinness hurts it another way. When you are listening to music at high volume, you can feel the vibration through the whole body of the phone, and it's annoying. It's a very poor experience. It's something that I felt in the Galaxy S5, and that was a cheap built phone. That was a plastic phone. This is a metal phone, but it's so thin you can feel the vibration from the very loud speakers throughout the whole body. And haptic feedback as well. When you have that on, not only do you hear this little ting 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 sound that's annoying, because it's like you can feel it vibrating throughout the whole body. So imagine listening to music at high volume while you're typing. It's a terrible experience. It's not a premium experience at all. And the speakers are kind of hollow to the way they sound. You definitely don't want to put them all the way up. Like, put them about 2 notches down, and I would use the equalizer, and you would get better sound from that. It'll be lower volume, but the default sound, not a big fan of. I'm probably spoiled yet again by the Moto X, which does have better dual front-facing speakers. But these front-facing speakers are going to be better than like everything else out there, because everyone else is doing like, how much drop the phone? They're doing like downward-facing speakers. They're doing speakers on the back. Why? It's front-facing speakers are just the best, hands down. So essentially, I don't have fun holding this phone. I don't have fun looking at it. It's stock Android, which is awesome, but enhanced stock Android is definitely the way to go. The Nexus has always been a more developer-friendly phone because of getting the updates first. But you know, when someone like Motorola comes in and has stock Android and adds some goodies like Moto Display, Moto Actions, and things like that, you know, these are things that make using your phone better. Moto Assist, you know, they do have Do Not Disturb mode here, but Motorola still has reading your messages and notifications to you when you're at home or while you're driving. There's just so many things that they do, and when I come to this, I'm missing out on more. I already have the Nexus 6 from last year, so in my case, I'm better off keeping that for my taste on new Android and keeping the Moto X as my like daily driver. So those are the reasons why I don't like the 6P. It's just not a very personal phone for me. I don't see the point in giving up so much discomfort, and I obviously hate this design. This is like a 5S mixed with a iPhone 6 Plus. You know, the edges are from very iPhone 5S like, also the back being metal, iPhone like, and then the big bezels just like the 6 Plus. Designs that I absolutely hated. If anybody ever talked to me about iPhones, I'll let you know that's why I hated on those phones. So if I was to tell you that I like the design on this phone, I would be lying. So it is my opinion. That's what I think about this phone. It's not for me at all, not even a little bit. It's a great phone, I think, just pulled back by great hardware, but nobody really seems to look at hardware the way that I do. Um, they're really more about the materials, and people actually like metal on the back of a phone. They like glass. Not sure why, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down in the section below. Follow me on Google Plus, and I'll see you guys in the next one.